If you guys remember, we class changed to Barbarian to create build guides for it, but we got the new patch, so I switched back to Blood Knight before doing that to test out the new stuff. One of them is a support build. I think you should use that one if you are doing dungeons with a group or when you are doing raids with your warband. And the other one is for solo dungeon runs. As always, if you have better builds or improvement ideas, please let us know in the comment section. First, let's start with the support build. I think every barbarian should play like this when they are in a group. So let's start with the skills. First, we have Sunder. This skill increases the damage monsters take by 30% for 6 seconds, which is really good. For example, Monk's Inner Sanctuary with the buff essence buffs everyone's damage by 35% when they stay in that area, but this one's debuff directly applies to the target, which is even better. We are using a chest essence with this skill, which increases the duration of Sunder when you hit them with your primary attack. Each strike increases the duration by 1.6 seconds up to a maximum of 4.8 seconds. Next, we have Demoralize. Without any essences, this is a taunt skill, but with the head essence we are using, it turns into a buff skill, which increases the all damage of your nearby allies by 25% by 6 seconds. And of course we have Wrath of the Berserker. We have 2 essences with it, both makes the great damage dealing skill. Finally we have Sprint and we have a Pants essence with this. Thanks to this essence we can share our sprint with the other party members so they can move faster as well. But that's not all. Since sprint counts as a buff, on the boss stages when you activate this, you give all your party members a 30% attack speed buff, and that comes from the 4 pieces of V2 we are using. For the primary attack we have Frenzy with 3 different essences. I will show you all the essences in detail in a minute after we talk about the set items. And like I said, we have 4 pieces of V2 for our set items, and for the other 2 I am using Banquet. Since we apply burn effect with our Wrath of Berserker, we get 15% increased damage buff from Banquet almost all the time. Now let's take a look at the legendary items we are using. For the headpiece we have Battlemaster's Helm. Demoralize is replaced with a Warcry that increases all damage you and nearby allies inflict. For the chest we have Broken Ire. Your primary attacks now increase the remaining duration of Sunder on enemies they strike by 1.6 seconds up to maximum of 4.8 seconds. For the shoulders we have Nature's Temper. Wrath of Berserker now also causes your primary attack to consume your life, dealing 9.1k additional damage with each strike. For the pants we have Shift Wing. Sprint also increases movement speed of nearby allies. And for the main ant we are using Riddle Rue. When Frenzy deals a critical hit, your primary attack speed is increased by 50% for 3.2 seconds. For the offhand we are using Sundered Legacy. Wrath of the Berserker now causes nearby enemies to burn. And for the additional main ant we are using Lunatic Twin. When Frenzy is fully stacked, each attack unleashes 5.8k damage to all enemies in front of you. Cannot occur more often than 0.4 seconds. And lastly, for the additional offhand we have Oncoming Brutality. Frenzy increases damage you deal to that enemy by 6% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 30% increase. Other than that, I am using Weaver Paragon 3, and for the point distribution I maxed out damage, armor pen, potency. After these you can spend your points on life or armor. And now let me show you the solo dungeon build. For the skills, once again we have Sunder, but this time without any essences. After that we are using Chained Spear. We are using this with 2 essences. First one deals a great amount of damage, plus it leaves a burn effect on the target. Thanks to the second essence, Chained Spear now also shatters armor, increasing all damage enemies take by 8% for 4.8 seconds. Next we have Wrath of Berserker. This time we are using 3 essences with it. One of them is good old Broken Soul, which lets us deal critical hit damages almost all the time. Other 2 are here for a little bit more extra damage. For the primary attack we have Frenzy with 3 different essences. I will show you all the legendary items we are using in a minute after we talk about the set items. We have 4 pieces of V2s and 2 pieces of Banquets. Since we apply burn effect with our Chained Spear, we get 15% increased damage buff from Banquet almost all the time. Now let's take a look at the legendary items we are using. For the head essence we have the new one, Brace of Ancestors. Wrath of Berserker now also causes your primary attacks to deal 100% of the damage done to nearby enemies. For the chest we have Chained Spear essence. Chained Spear now hurls 3 flaming spears that damage all enemies in their path and each leaving a burning trail. For the shoulders, once again we have Nature's Temper. Wrath of Berserker now also causes your primary attack to consume your life, dealing 9.1k additional damage with each strike. For the pants we have Scale Sunder. Chain Spear now also shatters armor, increasing all damage enemies take by 8% for 4.8 seconds. For the main end we are using Riddle Rue. When Frenzy deals a critical hit, your primary attack speed is increased by 50% for 3.2 seconds. And for the offhand we have Broken Soul. Wrath of Berserker now increases critical hit chance instead of attack speed. And for the additional main end we have Lunatic Twin. When Frenzy is fully stacked, each attack unleashes 5.8k damage to all enemies in front of you, cannot occur more often than every 0.4 seconds. And lastly, for the additional offhand we have Oncoming Brutality. Frenzy increases damage you deal to that enemy by 6% for 3 seconds, taking up to 30% increase. Just like the other one, I am using Weaver Paragon tree with this one as well, and for the point distribution I maxed out damage, armor pen, potency, and after those you can spend your points on life or armor. Actually, let me show you the open world farm build as well, so you can find all PvP builds in this one video. I'm not going to explain that one in detail, it's pretty simple. For the skills of open world farm build, we have Whirlwind, Ground Stomp, Wrath of Berserker, and Sprint. And of course we have Frenzy as our primary attack skill. For the set items, I have 4 pieces of Grace and 2 pieces of Izatar, and these are the legendary items. Lust and Hate, The Gathering, Hell's Legacy, Dauntless Temper, Bitter Wind, Thunder Legacy, this one that I couldn't pronounce, and Oncoming Brutality. Other than that, I am using Treasure Hunter when I do open world farm, and for the point distribution I max out damage, armor pen, and potency. After these, you can spend your points on life or armor. And now that's all for this one, take care.